So, hi again. Uh, the previous restoration of the Pentium kind of failed miserably. And why? Well, the entire motherboard was just way too much oxidated. When I tried to remove the BIOS chip for cleaning it, a couple of legs just broke off and there was nothing that I could do. So basically what I did was I took it to an e-waste, and I thought that was the, well, unfortunately the end of my series. Although I've only recorded the first part. Anyway, a couple of days ago a friend of mine arrived and he found this, and let me show you what. Okay, there's like tons of everything. Now, before you start that this thing is going to be like those fake Asian restorations where they disassemble the entire screen and put it back together and make it good as new, it's not. Because I didn't even want to record the video regarding this thing, but take a look at this. This is actually just a bit dirty. On the inside, this thing looks as good as new. Well, almost as good as new. So yeah, I will be disassembling this thing and hopefully restoring it to its former glory. Because on the inside this thing looks nice. In here it says Institute something, I'm not quite sure what, but... And to be fair, I have no idea what computer this actually is. S3 video card, and this one has been upgraded. I think this is probably 1 megabyte or half a megabyte. We'll see. I actually have these chips somewhere, so we can actually upgrade this thing to a full 2 megabytes, I think. This is something that this thing looks like a sound card, but I do have the other one. It has like a broken potentiometer, I think. So this is a modem, I think. Cool. And this is basically the ID connector, which it used to be off the motherboard. So 2 floppy drives, and I'm kind of happy that I have a floppy drive. Well, because I have a couple of floppies that I want to test out. But I'm gonna clean this thing, and after I clean it, I'm gonna test it just to see if it works. And if it does work, I'll put it together. By the way, what's this? Ultra slim hard drive. I've never seen this thing. So this has 251 megabytes. I have never seen such drive. The connectors are a bit, as you can see, they are a bit of fucked, but I never saw such a thin hard drive. What the hell? Okay, removable hard drive. And I think I can actually test it, because I have like an ID connector somewhere. This is just a bit dusty, but overall this is in very good condition. Okay, cool. Can I remove this thing on the side? Of course I can. I used to use brain back in the day. 2 screws and you remove the entire motherboard. How awesome is that? So now I need to see what CPU is this. This is 486, by the way. And as you can see, this thing is dirty just in here, but everything else is okay. That was not the greatest idea. Okay, but as you can see, everything is actually quite clean. The only thing is this front that's dirty. Okay, let's see what the CPU is. Oh my, this is 486 at 66 megahertz. Okay, let's remove everything on this. The battery on this thing has been repaired. Somebody removed the original battery and installed this thing. Cool. Okay. And again, this motherboard looks spot on. And you know what? I'll take the vacuum cleaner because there's like tons of life in here. So let me show you a bit on the inside. Sorry. Yeah. And again, I don't think this is rusty. Just like somebody, just like it was like, you know, like kept in the dirt or something. Oh, by the way, Institute of OTV something. I have no idea who they are, what they are. By the way, this bad boy is 235 watts. Remember the day when 200 watts was enough, right? To be honest, I kind of miss those days because, you know, you didn't need to check everything. Well, fact check. Okay, I took the photo of just the position of this thing. Because reasons, okay. I think I can actually remove this thing now. Okay, kind of cool. Can I remove the speaker as well? Oh boy. I should probably wear gloves, but I don't have them anyway. But this is impressive. This thing is not rusty in any way. I mean, really? Can I remove just this part? I think I can. I think it's been hot glued, so let's test that. Okay, first of all, I don't want to disconnect wires because if I do, I'm just going to disconnect this one, which is the power supply, and then I'm going to remove the power supply. Let's see whether I can remove this thing. But I think I can. As I said, I think this thing is just been hot glued. I don't want to break it after all these years, but who knows? Yeah, okay, this thing can be removed, and this part I'll just clean it separately. So, yeah. Okay, cool. I mean, really. Okay, I might need to do some cleaning. Okay, let's try to clean it just like this, and just for a second. And let's see how will this thing look. I can tell you right away. Okay, kind of cool. Yeah. So, first of all, let's vacuum this thing again. I do need to remove the switch. So let's try to clean this. Already in very good condition. Okay, so I've rinsed this thing, and actually my neighbor gave me the gloves. Okay, these gloves are very small. We are in business. I'm gonna clean this thing as well. But as you can see, the switch already looks, well, better. Way better. I'm gonna put this thing aside just to test whether Perella will actually remove these yellow marks. Okay. Okay. As I said, this is surprisingly not rusty at all. I mean, okay, maybe a bit. I would call this thing like baby rust. I'll clean it and I'll spray paint it with the anti-rust paint, but as you can see, only a bit. And this part is already cleaned. Kind of awesome. Now this thing will be an adventure to clean, but I think that this thing will be very good. There's literally no rust, no nothing. This case was probably among the, you know, like more expensive ones. So, as I said, this is very strange. It looks like the computer has been somewhere, but not for a very long time, and I think not for a very long time, because this thing, yeah, so as you can see, this thing looks almost as good as new. Well, okay, it's 486, so there is bound to be some scuffs, as you can see. Oh, sorry, as you can see in here, but I'll see what I can do to repair this thing. Maybe some anti-rust, something. Okay. So this thing was a PC speaker back in the day. In you go. Oh yeah, and as you can see, this thing is almost perfectly clean. I'm kind of amazed at how good this case actually is. I will need some anti-rust, but not that much, so this is kind of cool. Yes, I didn't clean that part. And yeah, this part is actually rusty. Even this thing is not that rusty, it's just dirt. Seriously. I have like sandpaper in here that can that is like water friendly. These ones are they have been used, but I think that they will be okay. And yeah, this thing is looking way better already. I think I'll need to paint it, but this is not that easy. Okay. And this is still dirty. It is. But I think a bit of this thing will go a long way. I mean, the cool part is that this is actually on the bottom of the case, so nobody will even see this. But I will buy some anti-rust and maybe some anti-rust paint. I don't know. I think my neighbor has like anti-rust, not that liquid, and I will be putting it in here, and well, everywhere in here, so that I can actually fix this case even sooner. But in my book, this is already great. This is actually very good. And when my neighbor gets me the that anti-rust liquid, I will go all over the case with it, and I'll show you the results. So the next thing I need is this floppy drives front plate, and I'll be just I won't be cleaning them now. Oh, this thing is actually screwed in. This is the first Panasonic, of course. Panasonic, of course. Do they have screws? They're not joking around when it comes to their hardware, and yeah. Seriously, this thing is such a good design. Okay, one down, two more left to go. I think that this thing is basically just pull out. And I'm kind of happy that I actually got one of these because, yeah, this thing is just pull out. Because I think that this is a cool device to have, you know. I mean, if it works. If it doesn't, then fuck it. Does this thing have some kind of screw somewhere? Okay, of course it does. Two screws. And I think it will just pop out. I am a bit worried about this, but we'll see, you know. What else? A CD drive. I know that I have to disassemble this thing because, well, yeah. However, I am and this is the color we are aiming for. I'm going to try to clean this thing with 99% alcohol. It is removing it, but not all the way. I mean, it did remove it. I'm not very sure. Maybe this is the color that this plastic is. So. And let's take out the hydrogen peroxide and the UV lights. Oh, well, I was looking for the this thing. And by the way, this is thick. It's not. I thought it was Mitsumi. It's not. CD50 R55S. I'll Google it. I found this, which is like 24 years old. This is like 10 gigs, 4 gigs. I'm not even sure. Yeah, 10.2 gigabytes. And this one is 80. So I'll be like looking through them to see whether they have something on them that's interesting. I found this thing, which is a caddy for the and there is still not enough of it. You just need to put this thing to press it in. Chernobyl light on. Not great, not terrible. Well, anyway, see you in a couple of hours, I guess. So first of all, sorry about the noise. Yeah, so I decided to disassemble all of this thing, and I removed all of the hot glue, so I can remove. Well, I can basically disassemble this thing. So yeah, I think that this thing will be awesome. I truly believe that. Okay, and this one I need to actually remember where this thing went, but okay, it will be by the turbo LED, so okay. And now I can actually clean this thing. Unfortunately, I do not have the this key. I have a lot of them, but none of them seem to work. But yeah, this thing will be awesome. And I can tell you that this thing, all of the plastics that I've placed inside in here, they already look awesome. Can I remove this thing? Unfortunately, I cannot remove this thing because somehow something happened, but whatever. It'll be just fine like this for me to clean it. So yeah. As you can see, it's already way better. And I think I can actually, yeah, this thing is glued on. I can actually remove it and then just re-glue it back. But yeah, this already looks way better. And this thing was dirty and it's not anymore. So this thing will be awesome. And basically the last thing I need to clean is this lock. And I need to find the proper key actually for that. You know, I have a couple of more, so let's test this. I mean, if not, I'll just replace the entire lock because I have a lot of them in here. I have no idea why I bought them, but I'm kind of glad I did. So this one does not work. Maybe one in here, who knows? Yeah, this one is working. So I don't even need to replace it. Although, to be fair, I actually have two brand new locks. And I don't know, these ones I think are a bit bigger. Yeah, sorry, my dog, yeah. But never mind, because this thing actually works. Kinda cool. And I will be using a bit of brake cleaner to clean inside this thing. So this, if you need to clean anything from thermal paste to anything, any brake cleaner. As my mechanic says, the brake cleaner is good for everything, including brakes. But as you can see, it's already clean. Awesome. We install this thing back in, and yeah. And I think that this thing will be beautiful. And I have no idea where this thing went. Ah, damn it. Okay, maybe this thing will give me a clue. Reset and turbo. And this is turbo. Okay. So this thing goes in here. And Tilda needs to put this thing in. Yeah, it's a square, so I'm guessing it goes like this. And goes like this. And now I think that even those small buttons will work properly. But as you can see, they work flawlessly. Kinda cool. And this is the reset button. And now I can hook this thing back. This thing looks as good as new, right? Cool. So, I'm guessing that turbo is yellow, power is green, and hard drive is red. Now all I need to do is basically just hot glue this thing a bit, and as you can see, this is as good as new. So a couple of hours have passed, and the next thing I will be putting is this keyboard. This is so yellow. By the way, take a look at the caddies. This one is brand new. These two. Now this one is this is actually the original color. It's not as white as these ones are. Okay, and even this thing looks beautiful. Okay, and let me go and just rinse this thing off, and I will be inserting the keyboard inside. So yeah, look at this thing. I mean, this thing looks beautiful, and with this part installed, this thing looks just amazing. I mean, it goes through here, but you get the idea. I think I will be leaving this thing inside a bit, because maybe even not, you know. I mean, it does look okay, but you know what? It wouldn't hurt it if I leave it inside a bit more, I guess. Okay, so yeah, my dog decided to visit us. Let me show you the dog if I can. This is Stella. Stella, sorry. Wait, yes. Let's place this thing down and let's disassemble the keyboard. And now the keyboard. So let me remove just all of this. And let me just dust this thing off a bit. Oh boy. So I can tell you right away, this thing looks way better. But into the hydrogen peroxide she goes. But before that, I'm going to just wipe it with a wet towel, just so that I clean it a bit. And I actually have like 19-inch screen which I will be hooking to this, because I think this is going to be awesome. And afterwards, my next project will be, I have like a Pentium 4, and I have like two Voodoo 2 graphic cards, and I have, and it will be a surprise, something very, very cool. Okay. Okay. So this thing will go in the bottom, By the way, I dare to say having your hands inside the hydrogen peroxide is not the smartest thing to do, but in reality, what could possibly go wrong, right? You know what, I'll be pulling this thing out as well. I mean, in reality, it's as good as it's gonna get. Plus, it does look nice, so there's that. I mean, really. Yeah. And I think I'll leave this one because unfortunately I forgot about this one and I've inserted it into the hydrogen a bit late. Let's take a look at how this thing looks, you know. I mean, in reality, this also looks quite nice. You know what? This thing is going out as well. If you can press it, very good. And I will be leaving this thing overnight. And yeah, I'll see you in the morning when this keyboard's restored to its former glory. Chernobyl 3.0. So one eternity has passed and let's take a look. Okay, I don't know. Okay. I mean, it's good. It's definitely way better. Oh no, it's actually excellent, sorry. I thought that perhaps this thing did not complete successfully, but it did, and yeah. And basically you do not need to remove the keys. You can just, okay, this is just dirty. Yeah. You don't need to remove keys, you can just like, yeah, insert it with the keys installed. So you know what, I'm gonna go rinse this everything off and remove what's left of the hydrogen peroxide, and I will be right back. This is a US Robotics. This is quite old. Now I will be polishing this plates. What do you call it? Do you call this thing plates? I'm not quite sure. Well, anyway, I will be polishing them, and this one is actually okay, but there is a bit of rust in here on this. I believe this is game port. So yeah, I will be disassembling this and just using a bit of anti-rust in here so that, well, we remove the rust. So one eternity later, this thing broke, but this thing looks way better. So let's put it in here, and you know what, I'll actually clean this thing as well. Unfortunately, I do not have any polishing paste. I'm gonna go and take a look for a polishing paste. I would say that this looks awesome. This is the way the keyboard looks now. I would say this is awesome. Now there are some yellow markings in here, but just a bit, and I think this is okay. So we need this thing, then we need this thing, but before all of that, I think we need electronics and a cable. So I so wanted to put everything in, I forgot to put everything in. Ah well. So this thing goes in here, I think. Yes. This thing goes like this, right? And then like this, and this thing goes in here. Okay, okay. I think we're good. Okay. Okay. Let's screw in some screws, right? I actually have a couple of screws missing because they are in the that anti-rust thing, so I will be installing them later on. Overall, this keyboard is now kind of cool, you know. Okay, so the first one is the floppy drive, and you know what? I'll actually open it just to see whether there is like dirt on the inside. I mean, it does look okay, to be honest. Oh yeah, this is the heads and everything, they look spot on. So there is nothing to do in here. Yeah, as I said, there is nothing in here, no dust, no nothing whatsoever. So this is kind of cool. As I said, this computer on the inside was almost as good as new, which is kind of strange, but there you have it. Now, in theory, I could have cleaned the head with the isopropyl alcohol, but let's kind of hope that there is no need for that. Okay, next thing I will be installing is this thing. Yes. And now I need to screw in 2 screws. This looks brand new, right? Okay, so the next thing I will be doing is this large one, and this one is a bit dusty and whatnot, so I will disassemble it and try to blow off the dust. So first of all, let's try to blow the dust off. Oh, this component, I guess. Now I do wonder if I remove these 4 screws, will I be able to remove everything? I don't think I will be able to remove the head, but that's a non-issue at the moment. Now I need to be careful, I don't want heads to hit. Okay, this is brilliant actually. And now I can dust this thing off a bit, and this thing as well. Now unfortunately, this thing is a bit rusty, so that kind of sucks. I mean, the motor is spinning quite nicely, I'm gonna be honest about that. Okay, this might just be dirty actually, not rusty. Yeah, I think this is actually just dirty, which is kind of okay. Yeah, okay, this is just dirty. Rust is a no-no. Last thing I will be doing is actually cleaning those heads, even though they look, to be honest, they look spot on. So, we'll see. And I think that this thing will be a-okay. Now let's put everything back in, and I think that this thing is going to be awesome. I might even put some grease in here, but I mean, this thing looks quite clean, so you know, maybe just a bit. Have some grease in here. Grease like just a bit. Okay, now this thing, and I can actually, I think I can clean this thing with the isopropyl alcohol, this upper part, so why not? I mean, it's not even that dirty, so kind of cool. Okay, now let's, yeah, now you see it looks like, well, as good as new, I would say. So yeah, let's see how will this thing look. I mean, so far, yeah. And now the last part, which you just press it in. Okay, and there you have it. All right, so let's try to assemble well the case, right? First thing we need is this. How beautiful is this, right? And you know what? I'll turn on my second lighting because it's already like 8 p.m. So yeah, okay. So let's put this thing through here. And I will need to put, okay, the lighting is on. Okay, and I will need to put on some hot glue so that this thing is actually held together. Awesome. Good as new. Okay, so let's put some hot glue in here. And I do have this portable from Lidl. Okay, it's on. And I need to find the switch now. Awesome. Okay. Now let's put some hot glue in here. Okay. The next thing I need to is to find the speaker and install it. Right? Cool. By the way, I think I'm gonna put some hot glue in here as well, because this thing was actually hot glued. I think it was. Probably was. We'll see. I can tell you right away, this thing looks great. The next thing I need is a floppy drive. That's one. That's two. Two screws in here. Not to be fair, when I was like younger and I used to assemble the computers, I would never put all the screws in, but for this assembly it has to be perfect. Awesome. Let me put the camera a bit higher. So now the separator. Yeah. So let's put the floppy drive inside. I mean, this thing looks brilliant, I'll tell you right away. And yeah, you're expecting like storm of all storms, so yeah, that's why you hear lightning in the background. And now, since our CD drive unfortunately does not work because it has a faulty laser, I'll be using actually one that I've got that's from LG. So I'm guessing this one is a bit modern, but until I find something that's older, it'll do. I think I actually have a CD-ROM somewhere, but not in here and not at the moment. Now tell me, doesn't this thing look beautiful? Let's install the motherboard. And I actually think I need to change this thing because this battery is, I believe, 3.2 volts, and I think that the original battery was 3.6 volts. I might be wrong, but I think I'm not. So this is just one screw. Is there any other screw in here? Basically no. Okay. So it's only been held by two screws. Interesting. I really did think that it had more than one screw, but okay. You learn something new every day, right? So I think that these threads for this motherboard are actually these ones, which are they're a bit more coarse. I do hope that this thing actually turns on, and well, that it works, right? Okay. Okay. Now we need a power supply, and actually I'm going to be using this one, which is the one I actually already cleaned and repaired in my previous video. You know what? I actually have like a modern screwdriver, so why not use it? Okay, and now I need to connect this thing, which is for the display. I need to connect this thing, which is, well, power supply. Well, for the switch, right? And I actually think that maybe I should have... Yeah, okay. Can I remove this thing? Yeah, I should have connected it before inserting it. Okay, I did press it, and I can press this one now. So this is kind of cool. I did remove it, and I'm just gonna put the wire through. Okay. White and blue, and these two should go like this. Okay. And if I screwed something, you're gonna hear. Let's see whether this thing will blow up or not. I think it won't, but then and again, okay, like this, on, like when you go home and just like flip the switch. Now regarding connecting the motherboard, two black wires should be together. Okay, so it goes like this, and now I still need to connect the I'll connect the floppy drive, and I'll connect these two wires, and the red one is plus, and in here it says plus and minus for the display, so I think this thing will be just fine. Now I have to connect, well, what the hell is this? Key lock and power LED. I have no idea how this thing should go. It says number 1, but I have no idea which one is number 1. Turbo switch, plus plus minus minus, reset switch. Basically these are, these are these ones that go in here. I don't know whether you can see or not. Unfortunately I'm recording this video all alone, and well, it is what it is. This one is HDD LED, and plus is number 1, and I think that's the red wire. I'm actually connecting this, and the cable management is a bit bad, but it's just to see whether this thing is actually powering on or not. I hope it is. And now the fan, and I will just clean it. And let's connect the fan as well, right? But before I connect everything, I'm gonna put in the GPU and see whether this thing is actually turning on. Because if this thing is not turning on, then this thing sucks. And by sucks, I mean sucks big time. Power port. Now let's connect the VGA cable. And let's see whether this thing will turn on or not. And I won't be connecting the fan and whatever, because it'll last like not for that long. Okay. The power supply is on, but my monitor is off. Okay, RGB. Okay, it shows the signs of life. It detected that RGB is connected. Showing nothing. Power saving mode. I need to troubleshoot this thing a bit, and the display is not lit up. Why? Let's try to turn it off, and let's see whether it's something to do with RAM. You know what? I'll debug this thing a bit, and then I'll let you know the results. So I'll try to connect this, which is the HDD controller, because perhaps it's not booting without the controller, which is a possibility, I guess. And I did install the BIOS battery, but as I said, unfortunately I think that this one is only 3.2, 3.3 at best. Okay, it's turning on. Yes, it was due to controller. Alright. It said out of range, seriously. Maybe the refresh rate or something, because I have like an LCD. So now I need to drag my CRT monitor. Oh wow. So I know this is not the age specific monitor, but unfortunately this is the only CRT I actually have. And I do hope it won't explode, because if this thing explodes, it won't be fun times, right? Okay, now let's connect it to the power supply. And let's start praying. Okay, nothing exploded so far. Power on. Okay, something happened to the screen. Okay, I heard the beep. Fine. Do we have any picture? Okay, what's this? I don't know whether you can see it or not. I mean, this is definitely not good. Okay, maybe it wasn't seated properly. Okay, stepas. My dog is underneath the monitor. Okay. Attempt number 2. Okay! Yes! Sorry, let me focus this thing a bit. Sorry, I do not see anything. Okay, now let's see if the keyboard works. And by the way, I will show you the end of the well, the computer, but this thing will be the sound card. How insane is this? And I cannot actually even install it, I think. Oh wow. Can I install it down here? I think the only place I can install it is maybe down here, because connectors. Let me try to install it in here. Yeah, the only place where it actually goes is down here. Oh wow. So it can only fit down, yeah, okay. So, doesn't it look beautiful? I still haven't installed the operating system, but everything is connected and everything is working, which is kind of cool. This thing will be a bit of trickery. I think that DVD might not work, or it might, I will see. And we'll test all of this thing. And I did manage to fix the keyboard. If I press Ctrl Delete, it will reboot. And the problem was thing pressing the that plastic part of the keyboard was faulty. Well, faulty. I needed to replace it. But there you have it. I think this thing looks kind of nice. So the next video will be me installing Doom on this thing and playing it. Well, installing DOS, then Windows 3.1, then Doom. But overall, I think this looks awesome. So, now for real. Until the next time. Cheers.